Hey everyone, it's me Doomlink and welcome back to Doomlink's Live Hunts. We are doing the usual. I made a decent amount of progress yesterday in ranking up because I was lucky enough to find a guy who was doing some of that Brachydios charm farming. He was a status gunner and was hosting a room. He was a bit weird, but he knew what he was doing. And we managed to, I don't know exactly how many hunts we would have gotten done. Something like, well, if you call that a hunt, let's say sessions, or how many runs we did. I'd say approximately 10. That's probably what we did. But either way, I'm now at hunter rank 926, and we will continue on. Hello Exio. I've been going live at weird times, man. Morning my time, then evening my time, then morning again. And you've been here for each of those live streams, so you must have a pretty crazy sleep schedule. You literally just woke up? Well, if it would please you to know, your sleep schedule's so messed up, living in Mexico, that you literally have an Australian time zone sleep schedule, so. And you're on the other side of the world, so. There you go. It is 8:39 in the morning here, so just thought I'd let you know. Not necessarily a bad thing, but anything turns. It doesn't bode well. Hunter rank minimum of 200, that usually will filter out any Atlkar, any high rank deviants, usually. Cheese bus. We can hunt, I don't mind, Exio. Hello Air Gaming. Which would mean, of course, that I wouldn't be able to join this room then. Could join HR minimum 69, very funny. Oh, well I would have joined that turns room from before then. Okay, I'll try to go back and see if I can make it in there. I don't really want to hunt with this cat, anyway. I do take exception to cats, as you know. Anything turns, here we go. Yeah, Hayabusa Feather isn't too hard to get. It is time consuming, but it's worse than you think, or rather, it's not as bad as you think. You imagine it to be worse than it actually is, because you look at the sheer number of quests, and it is quite crazy, but like anything, once you get stuck into it and start working towards something, you achieve it after some time, and it's not a big deal. I'm still doing deviants, but at least it's G-rank deviants. Whatever. I can live with Bolt Reaver. Right. What would be fun to you? I'm now the host. Why? Why would you make me the host after that? That's very strange, isn't it? Wow. I guess no one wants to do your quest, Cheesebus. Sorry. Oh my god. Because I don't really want to do it, but I was willing to do it, you know, to be in the room, but geez, that was basically a unanimous no from the room. To the extent where that guy's now sitting in a room on his own. What the hell is this Tuffy Tech crap? I don't know. I really wouldn't know. High rank deviant turns, imagine that. And imagine being hunter rank 999 and wanting to join such a room. Okay. Everyone has their thing. Red Helm G3. I don't mind Red Helm, but I don't think so. Horns Coin Farm. So literally any G-rank quest. I've never seen a Horns Coin farming room in this game. Because again, you don't usually have a need for Horns Coins precisely because you get them from literally every G-rank quest that you do. And this guy wants to farm them. That's very weird. But I can understand that he might have a need for them. Maybe he wants to do a shitload of transmog. I think that requires Horns Coins, but anyway. Yeah. Hi, says Shah. But it doesn't make sense to me that you would have a room dedicated to... I mean, you understand, Exio, that if you get Horns coins from every single G-rank hunt that you do, you'd be better off just finding another objective that involves hunting monsters, which is, you know, the game that we're playing. Every objective involves hunting monsters, and in achieving that objective, you will achieve the acquisition of Horns coins. It really is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. The guy literally wants to waste his time. This is not... Unless this quest drops more of them. But I don't think that would be so efficient. It's hard to get a... It's actually hard to get a group together that doesn't fail this quest, so... It may very well be the case that this particular quest drops more. If it doesn't, then the guy really has lost his marbles. I'm sorry, I'm not doing this with you. But, yeah. The guy is insane, basically, if that quest does not drop more Horns coins. I could not think of a less efficient way to get them if it drops the normal amount. Anyway, random deviants. No. We open, you help. Okay, I think that was an HR minimum of 100 for this room. Some weird rooms floating around right now. That much I can tell you with conviction. Fortunately, they did not depart without me or anything like that. Ugnok Tor Switch Axe. Haven't really seen that since Portable Thurn. And I suppose 3 Ultimate. Snow Baron G3? Sure. Something a little different. I like doing the high rank deviants, but in... Well, let me rephrase that. I like doing the deviants from Generations in their G-rank forms because I haven't really fought them very much. Precisely because I like to avoid high rank deviants, I do find myself not actually hunting those Generations deviants quite as often. Am I getting any use out of that status? No. That must have been for... must have been for my status set. Well, I could use it in conjunction with this. I would have to change the... Is it doing anything for that? I don't believe so. No. I'd rather take the decoration out in case I need it in the future for something else. Saves me from having to look for it. So you can go. You know, it is a triple slot that I'd like to populate with something, but I have no use for it, so there you go. Set Hunter Arts 2, Unhinged Spirit 3, thank you, and Critical Juncture 3. Okay. Now I don't have high grade earplugs, but life goes on. This should be appropriate for what I'm running right now. Yeah, that's good. My poison value is 51. It's very high. And I'm not really compromising on physical damage as a result, which is why this is a very good setup right here. Very good. Let's go to this res, or resistance. I will check my attack value momentarily, but it should be sitting at around 320, which is great. There's Exchanger, I'm blind. Please give it to me. Thank you. So my attack value, 312. Still pretty good. I mean, honestly, that's great. What's going on with your armor set? It looked quite nice. Good transmog. Frufu? Frufu, what an interesting name. I feel like a bit of a high roller at the moment. I've got 20 sub points on the channel, which is good to see. Of course, very appreciative of all the support. A lot of it coming from Potato, actually, but Some other noteworthy subscriptions as well. Or subscribers. With the help of Frou-Fou, we now know where the monster is. Lovely. I'm assuming this is Snow Baron right here. No. It's very, very strange to be hunting a Barioth in this location. Usually, it's the Frozen Seaway in this game. This may be one of the very few quests where you can actually fight a Barioth here in the Snowy Mountains. It does feel entirely wrong. It's like when I'm fighting, I couldn't sheath my weapon fast enough. Well, okay, he almost comboed me well and truly. Anyway, it's like when you're fighting an Agnaktor in the volcanic... no, the volcano, the second-gen volcano. Volcanic Hollow feels fine, but the second-gen volcano with Agnaktor is just really weird. It's the same here with Barioth. It's totally wrong. I do have to admit that I'm not a huge fan of the lack of raw resistance with this set, but I think it's still pretty functional. Well, very functional with this weapon, but still. You can see I'm not bothering to go into a spirit combo because I'm not going to be able to get the whole thing out. There's no way at all. Surprised that I haven't yet applied poison. This will be my opportunity to get my spirit combo out. Fortunately. That was a good paralysis. Very nicely done. We were getting towards the end of that trap timing, so that was perfect. Hopefully I can get all of this out before he flies in the air. Don't know if you saw, but I did hold off on my final Spirit Slash. See, normally I wouldn't be affected by that roar. I would have been able to get my charge up there. Very frustrating. Doesn't really matter where I would have rolled, I would have been hit by that. But I wasn't intending on rolling in the direction that I ended up rolling into. I think we just got spotted by Snow Baron. Yes, there he is. Sorry, Frou-Fou. Good flash bombing of Snow Baron there. I don't know how long he'll remain in place. Very nice, very nice. Keeping an eye on him. And that's a dead Barioth. Nice work, guys. Shit. You can stop Yuki, seriously. See how mindless these Orcus Quarkus gunners are? They continue shooting after the monster's dead, and they continue shooting even when they don't have any more shots left in the chamber. I mean, that really says it all. That's the level of strategy we're dealing with. But, you know, it does make the hunt go faster, I will admit. Well, you're the exception, Exio, because you have at least gunned before. A lot of the people who pick up guns in this game do so for one reason, and one reason only. It's because Valor Pierce Heavy Bowgun is so ridiculously strong that they want an easy time playing the game. Bowgun was usually, you know, something that would take extra effort in order to set up and learn and all of that. But there is sufficient incentive for people to pick it up nowadays. In this era of Monster Hunter. That was very nicely done. Paralysis into a shock trap. Really was not intending on going into a spirit combo there. I can't believe that I missed that attack. Didn't really mean to Fate Slash in that direction, but fine. I do love those giant... I don't really want to call it a snowball, it looks like an ice ball to me. But I do love it when Snow Baron summons those. I think he's limping already. Yeah, he's limping. This team is absolutely shitting on these monsters. It's great. It's a welcome change to some of the rooms that I've been in the past. A bit off target here. That was pretty good. That would have been very clean had I not been hit. But that was still a good final hit. I liked that. You know what would have been even better? Had I not been attacking, I would have used Critical Juncture because I was very much wanting to use it now. Critical Juncture for a final hit is very nice. I seem to recall getting a very nice mid-air Critical Juncture on, you know, maybe a Rathalos or Raytheon monster. Can't remember which of the two, but it was a, you know, it sent them flying down to Earth, or crashing down to Earth, and they were dead. And it was very clean. Anyway. And I can't remember what recording that was. It was somewhat recently. It was like 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. This guy's using the Samus armor set. Which is all well and good. Yeah, that was very nice. If you think about it, it was ideal. 2 people running status, 1 paralysis, 1 poison. 1 guy running element, and the other person just dealing heavy raw shot damage. Which is, you know, nice and balanced, I guess. Getting the best of all damage types. Frou-Fu has redeemed a voucher. Cutting Diablo's tails is kind of annoying. You can only really do it during knockdowns and stuff. I guess you can do it in shock traps too. Ready for EX? Yuki asks. I'm guessing that's referring to Snow Baron. I suppose I can do an EX Snow Baron. I don't think I ever have done one. But sure. I don't know if I would want to use... Well, I better check to make sure that it's a Snow Baron. Who was hosting that quest? Was it Frou-Fu? I think it was. Yeah, it was Frou-Fu hosting that quest, which means that it might not be Snow Baron. It's an EX Rust Razor, okay. Well, that's alright. I was hoping for Snow Baron. I've done my fair share of EX Rust Razors. Getting a little bit sick of it. But I would imagine that it's quite good for HRP, so I'll do it. And I feel pretty good about this team. You need to do Deviants for Transmog? Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Try to enjoy yourself if you can. I've failed to enjoy myself. That's not to say that I'm done with Deviants, but... Oh, I am done with them, but I'm not. I'm not going to do any more for a while, but I do have more to do. Let me see what other people have eaten for. Insurance? Good. I'll eat for Moxie then. Sorry for taking so long, guys. Or I could alternatively go for, you know what, with this defense, with this armor set, I will go for Defender High and Defense Up Large. That would be good. Because you can see I've got 579 here, and that plus Defender High, which is essentially Divine Blessing, should allow me to take hits normally, like without the need for Moxie. I'm sure there are some things that could still one-shot me, admittedly, but I'm quite happy with this defense. It's worked very well for me in the past. Alright. Well, you need to unlock the GX sets. I don't think that's related to Deviants. Well, I guess that wasn't your intended meaning. Get Demon Affinity ready. Don't go jumping off, Bus Acclaim. Stop it, don't do it. Ugh. I'm glad he didn't. I was concerned. I wasn't thinking. So I wasn't ready to load Demon immediately. Demon Affinity as it is. I don't know what's better, Demon Affinity or Demon. I think Demon Affinity is better in the end because, you know, Demon is a set bonus. It's not percentage based. Whereas Affinity by nature is percentage based. It's a critical of whatever damage they're dealing. So Demon Affinity does end up being better. That's what makes sense to me logically. I knew that early paralysis, given the use of Death Grip, was going to be very nice. Gives me an opportunity to get slicing on a weak point. And a lot of it, you know. That was all of my slicing too, on the face, basically. I don't mind accidentally hitting the claws, I can live with that. I've talked about it before, I've mentioned it before, but I do love the little rainbow that appears when he shoots his water beamer. That did not trigger the Adept roll. DPS is always lower with slicing because you do, at the end of the day, try to aim for a weak point with it. Otherwise it is kind of pointless. May as well shoot it into the back of the shell. Don't think it will end up reaching the weak point through there, but it doesn't really have piercing capabilities. It might, in some way, have a piercing capability. Might be able to reach other parts of the monster. But I'm not entirely sure. I was a bit worried about being caught there. Alright. Now for Pierce. At least we don't have any more water beams. Very nice. I'd like to pierce through the face and possibly get the weak point in the shell. That would be great. Is he doing the big spin? Yes, he is. Oh no, he's not. I thought he still had one claw in there. Yeah, see, he's got one claw in there, so. And that's the dangerous part. God, he moves fast, look at that. Very nice. He does go and dig to regain his shell almost immediately, I believe. Maybe not. Okay. I was hoping for an adept roll to be triggered there, because the good thing about adept rolling is that it does reload as well. Saves you from taking the time to actually reload normally. The point being that it's more time efficient. You can evade and reload at the same time. I don't think he's going to last much longer. I'm not necessarily expecting sub 5, but it's technically possible with this team. Yeah, we just hit 5 minutes, but I don't think it'll be much longer. The paralysis application is so good. It's quite frequent. Cyanotor must have a pretty low resistance to it. That much has been pretty clear. Very nicely done, guys. I'll give you a good hunt for that one. Now, I don't know if you guys really watched the team there. I didn't want to say it during the hunt, but these guys barely took a hit. I didn't take a hit, and I didn't see anyone else take a hit. This is a good team. So, I'm very happy with this group. It's very hard to just walk into this community and find a group that can actually play. It's hard. So, and the reality is that the more people on your team that know what they're doing, the better everyone's going to play. It's sort of, it's the flow of the hunt. The hunt flows better when everyone's playing well. So, yeah. Really good. Really good. Well, Lexio, the thing is that some species were only better in the sense that it was just the monster. You didn't have to deal with a stupid quest system attached to it. I wish that they would have done deviants without the whole quest system, but instead had them replace subspecies. They could have had a requirement to access them, you know, some sort of prerequisite, which would prevent you from just happening upon them in the normal quest list. That's fine. It gives it more of a... gives it more, how do I say, impact. But still, I don't think that the quest system that they chose to go with was in any way appropriate. It essentially turned what should have been a fun hunt into something well and truly monotonous. That's what it was. So, I really think they could have done better with that. An example of how they could have done better was by not doing it that way at all. We could have instead just had it be a normal hunt, more or less. In terms of the level of difficulty for that deviant hunt, I would say, you know, something stronger than a standard G rank would be good. You know, something between standard G rank and hyper in terms of difficulty would be great. Because you don't just want a different looking monster, you want a monster that is obviously going to be a bit more robust. Because I think lore-wise, deviants are created through, you know, the monster being battle-hardened or something like that. I believe that's how it works. In other words, it's an experienced monster. The monster should be stronger than a standard G rank. At least I think that's how it works. You want Lucent Nagakuga back? Why? Fuck that monster. He was interesting, I guess, but he was a bit gimmicky and he was not pleasant to fight. Gimmicky in the sense that him turning invisible never confused you. There was never anything... It's not like he would turn invisible and then you're like, oh, I don't know where he is. Because the thing is, if you fought Nagakuga before, you know where he's jumping. The beginning of his animation is shown and then he goes invisible. You know where he's jumped to. And then he is visible again. It's just a sort of gimmicky thing. Just to make him look cool. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but what I'm trying to say is that he's not all that unique in the end, as a fight, except for the fact that he's throwing poison spikes everywhere, which is quite honestly awful. So, yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I might actually... Hold on, is this guy still using slime? He is. Or blast, I should say, I suppose. We're dealing the same amount of blast, but I don't know if I want to double down on blast with this guy. Is there a... I do have a status gun lance. It might be a stupid idea. In fact, I seem to recall regretting using this last time. I think it's got really bad... And then I'd be doubling down on paralysis, wouldn't I? So should I go for... Maybe ice is good for both of them. Is Redhelm weak to ice? I think he is. I seem to recall that. Not especially weak to ice, no. Well, it is his secondary, but... You know what, I'll bring this. It's probably fine to double down on blast in this game. It's probably just... You know, everyone has their own separate build-up. That's what I'm guessing is the case. Anyway, have I eaten? No. I'll see what my options are, but I'll likely end up going defense up large, defend high. Oh. No, I will take exchanger. Someone's eaten for a gourmet voucher, which is very nice. What room did I end up in? We open new help. I was not expecting this room to turn out so well. You just don't know until you're in it and playing with them, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with this group. The other two weapon types from Frontier. I didn't know there were two. I'm only familiar with the magnet spike. What's the other one? Didn't know that there were two more. I'm assuming it's a ranged weapon? Tonfas. Why the hell did Tonfas need to be a separate weapon type? Seriously. I mean, just have a Tonfa design for dual blades. I don't understand. I mean, maybe they implemented it well and it feels like it deserves to exist on its own, but I'm not entirely sure about that. I'm going to try to stay away from anyone else and do my heavy shot. Didn't end up hitting through. I mean, see, I was aiming towards the head, but I wasn't the only one, so I wasn't going to do my heavy shot there. It would have been a bit inconsiderate. Yes, I did just take that hit, foolishly. I believe this is timed. I think the first two confrontations are timed, whereas the actual G5 Redhelm will come only after Rajang and Redhelm have been killed. Well, the first Redhelm. Fucking bastard creature. Sorry if I hit anyone. I might go for a Wyvern Fire, now that I'm in the orange. Get my stamina back by poking. Hello, beans. Oh, damn it. So Rajang's here. I probably should have brought smoke bombs, but I'm being very lazy. The thing is, Rajang is a terrible monster to have in the area with you while you're trying to hunt something else, because you'll get laser beamed, you'll get, you know, slammed by his ball attack. It's just awful. Not good at all. Also, flashing a Rajang's no fun. I realise that that was probably the objective there, but yeah, not recommended. Rajang's one of the worst monsters to flash. Might be fine if you don't actually want to hunt him, actually, but yeah, the priority right now is attacking Red Helm. The sooner Red Helm dies, the better. We do not want him to be alive at the same time as Rajang. That's Vasoclane being hit by a laser beam. Unfortunately, Red Helm moves around quite a lot, so as a gun lancer, I do find myself out of range quite frequently with this thing. As you can see, case in point. I'd like to use Dragon Blast, but I don't think he'll stay in one place for long enough for me to get it off. Sorry if I hit you, Frou-Frou. Lots of flash bombs, though. Well-intentioned flash bombs, I might add, but yeah. Not the most successful ones. Fortunately, I was able to get the diving animation out fast enough. I was worried that I was still going to be stuck in the sheathing animation. Okay, now. I am able to block that laser beam, by the way. I do have guard boost on this set, but the problem with the beam is that it often comes if you're not actually engaged with if you're not actually fighting the Rajang, you're trying to fight something else. Very good, very good. If you're not actually trying to fight the Rajang and you're instead fighting something else, the problem is not blocking the beam, it's about actually seeing it coming. Generally, you don't see it coming. Don't flash the Rajang when we're actually trying to hunt. Oh, you're trying to carve, I see. Well, don't do that. Bad idea. I'm trying to support the team a bit. See, Vasoclane is in greater danger right now than Frou-Frou was when I healed him. So, more sensible use of... Oh shit, this is not good. Look at this. See, this is the problem with Gunlance. When you are shield reliant like this, you can find yourself in situations with certain monsters where you're just stuck. Like if you sheath your weapon and try to run away, in the time that it takes for you to sheath, you'll get hit. But you can't really move with the weapon out properly, and so you're stuck shielding these endless attacks, and yeah, you just lose a lot of health if you're dealing with a monster like this. It's awful. Nothing is staying in place for me right now. I will sharpen up. Please don't hit me. Thank you. Good flinch. Jump back. See, that was a Dragon Blast opportunity, but I was flinched by the Switch Axe guy. If I just sent him flying, then I don't particularly care. I wasn't impressed by the flinch that I just had to deal with. I might use this as a Wyvern Fire opportunity. No, not that. Wrong fucking attack, man. Whatever, that's why I was shelling, to get myself well into the orange. Could get into the red too, but... Now this, in conjunction with Blast Dash, will be pretty good. Oh, see, now that's terrible. He manages to go right around my shield. He sweeps around my shield by spinning. What a load of crap. I'll shoot anyway, just to get myself into the red. And then I'll hope for an opportunity to use Wyvern Fire. Here we go. It is presented to me immediately. Thank you. There we go. And I will sharpen up, just to ensure that I'm at max. Now we're given something like 10 to 15 seconds to carve and prepare for the next hunt. This is the hardest part of the fight, because this one is actually a G5 level Red Helm. The previous one was just probably a G1 level, would be my guess. I don't know where exactly he spawns, but it is a long process to do a hunt like this. An EX is honestly better, because at least you're just hunting one monster and you hope to be done with it as soon as possible, whereas this, it feels more time consuming when you're standing around waiting for a monster to spawn and having to fight 3 separate ones. Maybe for some people it would be more exciting, I don't know. It's generally not my preference. Shut up. Look at the amount of stamina loss. That's because I don't have guard up, or excuse me, guard plus. I have guard up, but not guard plus. Guard up is the priority because that allows your set to be more versatile, but yeah, you can see that without guard plus versus this monster, it's pretty serious. I don't know if I can really get there. Oh, I can. Managed to get there, which is good. Dealt all of my damage. Would like a Wyvern Fire opportunity. Of course, no traps can be placed in this location. Beautiful. I'll point this away from everyone if I can. Love to get Dragon Blast charged up. Shit! I would have been able to... how much of this can I get? It was precisely because I was flinched by the Switch Axe guy that I couldn't charge up Dragon Blast with the appropriate timing. I knew I was going to be hit by that. I was being overzealous. I knew I was going to take some damage through that. Terrible. Oh. Can I still bounce off those? No. So when that's broken, and by that I mean his hands, I guess, his arms, when they're broken, I don't have to worry about bouncing on them anymore, which is good. I didn't mean to press that button. I do have Wyvern Fire at the ready. I'll try to. Very nicely done. He died before I could even get my Wyvern Fire off. That was well done. That was a good hunt. Again, what a great team. This team is mowing down the whole game. All the challenges that the game wants to throw at us, we're just mowing it down. Which, you know, for some people who hunt with friends might be perfectly normal. But I don't hunt with a consistent group that knows how to play. So this isn't a novel experience for me. It's quite new. I've experienced it before, just not really in this game. I haven't played with a consistent group in this game before. Yeah, keyword being consistent. I've played with groups before, but not for any long period of time. This is great though. This is the sort of group that you'd just want to play the whole game with, honestly. Because you can rely on them. Great for HRP as well, these quests. If we can get these done in no time at all, then that's a lot of HRP in a short space of time. How much is it? 2,700. I think that is with Exchanger, but still. Hey, there was a Gold Crown Small Red Helm. Very nice. I think that was the first one that we fought. Definitely not the second one. There's no way that second one was small enough for a Gold Crown Small. I don't have much more space for guild cards. Card list. Who can I remove? Someone from this year, probably. Mr. Bean. AC Beans is the one in the chat. My viewer. Jazz Jack, I think Jazz Jack can... you know what, I'll kick based on... or remove based on unity level. 0 unity with raw... no, don't press that button. Oh, who's waving? Oh, yeah, bye-bye, Bassoclane. Thanks for being part of the group. Card list. Okay, so remove will be with Y. Ross can go. Goodbye, Ross. Yuna can go. Serena. What's going on with you? Ew. Ew! I've never seen something so repulsive in all my life. Okay, so aside from that, yeah, let's get rid of that person. Hold on, where's... there we go. Get out. Eee. And then I suppose I'll keep all my 2020 guild cards. This guy called Random was my first guild card in this game. Which is pretty funny. The last hunt we did was through Thick and Finn, which I think is hyper Zamtrios. It might be standard Zamtrios, that's possible, but yeah. Stonefist 5. I'm not doing Stonefist 5. I understand what you want, but... and Frufu's happy to do it. I'm not. I'm sorry. This is where things end, you see. I very much enjoyed this group, but I'm not doing a high rank DV. It's not happening. Is Yi in your guild card? I don't think so. I don't believe so. Relaxed turns with Anthony. I'm sorry, but you've got to have... I mean, the temerity to be hunter rank 77 with a cat and to set the HR minimum to 200, that's considerable. What the fuck? What's wrong with this guy? I'm not joining his room purely on the basis of, you know, the room information. It is technically possible that he has become the host of a room that was created by someone else. That is absolutely possible. You know what, I'm going to check. I'm actually going to check. If he's player 1, then fuck this guy. I just want to find out. Because normally I wouldn't give people the benefit of the doubt in this community. Don't give people the benefit of the doubt, man. People are actually that fucking stupid. Alright. Just wanted to check, for my own satisfaction. I would join just to shit on him. Unbelievable. Okay. Now turns room with clear, with an HR minimum of 250. Jeez. One of the highest HR minimums I've seen so far. But I'll take it. Admittedly, it's a good way to clear out, get it clear out most of the rabble. But still. The problem with that is that you will have less traffic into the room. We've already got another person. Oh, never mind. Clear has decided that maybe it wasn't such a smart idea to go and set the minimum to 250 if he wasn't willing to wait. What a ballsack of a human being. Actually unbelievable. This community does floor me sometimes. Experts only? Okay, we'll know. How about no? King Chris is recruiting. I'm very confused by that name. Dato X Mao. I don't know if it's supposed to be LMAO or what, I don't know. It might not be. It could be the person's name. It could, you know, be from a rather exotic country where that would be a person's name. But, you know, it is confusing all the same. Shaguru Magala, HR minimum 100, radio. Got Greta and Sixian. Sixian? Don't know if it's Sixian or Sixian, but Sixian? Could be Sixian. I don't fucking know. Point is, it is a name. Which I think everyone would agree with. Shaguru Magala, let us... Mate, I literally just got into the fucking room. Literally just got in here, man. Take it easy. Let us go. You know what I'll say in response to that? Now, that might not have been him pushing me to depart as soon as possible, but that's how I'll take it. LOL, I'll leave. Let us go. You can fucking sit there and relax, dickhead. I don't have time for people. Hey, you really think that by typing that... anyway. It's not going to have me getting ready any faster. Are you ready to hunt, Exio? Because you never did say that you were. This is what I was talking about when it comes to communication. Doomlink, I'm ready to hunt. Anyway. I will make a room. What's your hunter rank? I'll set the minimum to exactly your hunter rank. I don't want 7 as the minimum. No one at hunter rank 7 is going to make it in here because it's in a location that they can't reach. I do wonder what the high rank community is like in this game. I really don't know. I recall going back and doing some high rank quests sort of early, you know, first few months of the game being out, because I was having to make weapons through high rank into G rank, and so I wanted to play with the high rank people. And there weren't many of them back then. I don't know if there would be less now or more now, I really don't know, so... As brain dead as the G1, well I'm not too... I wasn't really expecting them to be better or worse, but... Yeah, as far as the number of them, I would say there's less of them. No. See, we don't do this. I can. I'm going to let you post and then you can disappear immediately and wonder why. I'm just going to guess that it was Adalcar that he posted. It could have been anything. Could have been a Latrion for all I know, but... or a Cantor. The highest chances that it was Adalcar, second highest would be a Cantor. If you notice, no one posts Ukarmos. You almost never see Ukarmos. But it's always a Cantor. And the reality is that you do need a lot of a Cantor stuff. Particularly for decorations, but you know, a Cantor XR, for example, is quite a good armor piece type for mixed sets. So. Yeah, again, I don't reward people who turn up and just post their quest as soon as possible. They don't attempt to read the room, they don't attempt to determine what's going on. They just go in there, post their quest, and hope that we do it because they've posted it first. I don't reward that kind of behavior. You can go into a different fucking quest. Or, excuse me, a different fucking room, because plenty of people do actually reward that kind of behavior by doing the quest. Yui has entered the room. Do you have something that you want to do, Exia? Because it will make this easier if you post something. That certainly makes life easier. Oh yeah, that's right, you need tail cases. I suppose I could bring slicing shots, but I don't know if that would be worthwhile. I'll probably just bring, I don't know, a lance or something. And I'll poke during a shock trap. I don't have a paralysis lance, do I? Not a good one. Still upgrading one of them. I do have a paralysis longsword. I could bring that. Okay, let's do that. Paracoiled edge. Again, I have decorations in this thing that are not helping. Because they were set in there for a previous armor set that actually was slot reliant, my current status set. And the one that I will continue to use from now on, unchanged, is not slot reliant. The previous one was slot reliant because it was literally a set made for Death Grip, which was a double slot affair. But yeah, this is officially a general use set now. Is Lance a good paralysis weapon? Yeah. Everything's a good paralysis weapon, really. Let's look for... Exchanger, as we always do. And I do sometimes miss it, as you will all know well. Usually when I do miss it though, I end up finding it again. Oh, looks like someone's already gone and used a gourmet voucher. My hunter is not impressed by that meal. Imagine eating something so bad that you fall flat on your face on the ground. Like, that's pretty serious. It's not a good state to be in before a hunt with a big monster. Can you shoot slicing shots with that bowgun, Exio? Because I'm a bit concerned that I've got two people here who are going to be dealing heavy damage, but will not be able to contribute to a tail cut whatsoever. Okay. If you can shoot slicing, then I'm going to ask you to contribute to the tail cut with said slicing. 20, okay. If it doesn't look like we're going to get another person, then I'll ready up, but I'll wait another minute. I don't know how patient this Yui person is, so... I'd rather not lose him. Oh, goodness. Axe Hunter. Wasn't I hunting with this guy recently? His name is familiar to me. You can, after this hunt, if you're willing to wait. The vast majority of people who come into my live stream and say, "Can I hunt?" and I respond by saying, "Soon," leave. So, but if you're not one of those people, then yeah, I will hold a spot open for you after this hunt. I just don't want to kick anyone from this particular hunt. But, yeah, I will do so. But Twitch has a track record of people who will watch, but only, like, there's a precondition, and that is that I let them hunt with me immediately. So, yeah, but if you're not one of those people and you're willing to wait, like, I don't know, 10 minutes, then yeah, you can hunt. Conditional viewership doesn't really fly with me. I'm not sure what Axe Hunter's up to. He's probably looking for specific food like I was. Yeah, I have played with this guy. He's the guy who's the Naked Link character, which is weird, but at least I remembered his name before I remembered his Naked Link appearance, but still, that is quite memorable, we'll say. Oh, hey Baines, good to see you. I don't think I've... yeah, I suppose this is the first time you've caught a stream. I saw that you've been playing 3 Ultimate recently. I also play 3 Ultimate, but on the Wii U version. And I haven't been playing it as much recently for the reason that I'm trying to get to Hunt Rank 999 here in this game. I think I'm at Hunt Rank 925, something within that region, so therefore I'm on the last stretch. Final hurdle, however you want to say that. Point being that I'm going to focus on playing this game for now. But yeah, I will definitely return to 3 Ultimate in the future, but unfortunately we won't be able to play together because you're playing the emulated version on 3DS. I was actually pretty disturbed by the 3DS version. The user interface and heads-up display looks like a bad cartoon compared to the Wii U version, but I probably will be moving to the 3DS version when the Wii U server shut down, or if the Wii U server shut down. That's some lovely impacts there. If that could fucking stop right now, that'd be great. The fucking... anyway. Not impressed with that banging. Hopefully that does not fucking continue. If it continues, I'm gonna really take issue with it. So Diablos, let's... yeah. I wouldn't really need a hand, Baines. I would move my save over to the Citra version. And I'm at about 1,200 hours on that save, so I don't really have anything to do in that game, except for, I think it's Awakened Gunlancers I'm making at the moment. Hey, Ron Money. But for the most part, I've made all of my Awakened weapons, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, hoping for a paralysis momentarily. I should have pretty high paralysis value on this longsword, let's see. It's 41. Pretty good for paralysis. Looking to cut the tail for Hope, who is Exio in the chat. Tempted to drop a shock trap now. I hate aiming for tails. I just hate that kind of crap, personally. I'm happy to do it for someone, but it's something that I'd be willing to trap for. It's something, you know, just to cut a tail, I'm willing to bring A, a longsword, B, a paralysis weapon, and C, shock trap for it. That's how much I hate it. Unfortunately, no raw resistance on my status set. you use a mod that I suppose edits the charm table in some way, so that you pick up more talismans. I probably wouldn't want to use that anyway. I don't really want to mod the game in that way. I do agree that charms in general are pretty dumb. I don't like the charm system in many ways, but I don't think I would want to mod the game to get around it. Oh no, that's true. 3 Ultimate is the one where you can't change the charm table. You're absolutely true. That's absolutely right. So, therefore, you may as well mod it because it's glitched anyway. Okay, that's a good point now that I think about it. Because there's no way that it was intended that you were stuck on one charm table. Charm tables have always existed, but in that particular game, you were stuck on a charm table. You couldn't actually change it. Usually what happens is the charm table resets every time you load a new instance of the game, so... That was a really big fucking mistake of Capcom to make to force... Are you kidding me? See, this is the concern that I had with you Pierce Gunners. This is the big concern that I fucking had. Because they're dealing all of this damage. You see what I mean? You Pierce Gunners, honestly. I was aiming for the tail the entire fucking time. We are doing this quest for literally one reason, and that is to cut the tail. I do not like this community, I must tell you. Too many people using pierce guns because it just makes the game easier. In all the games prior to this one, no one wanted to use a bowgun because it was too much effort to set up a separate armor set, you know. But in this game, everyone does it because it just makes the game so much easier. It's easy mode for these people, so they'll do it. Which is a shame. And, again, for strategy, pretty bad, because here I am trying to cut the tail innocently and the thing's already dead. So that's pretty annoying. Well, that's right, Beans. The idea is that every single instance of the game that you load will have a specific charm table, and it usually will have a bias towards specific charms. It just... I don't really know what the purpose of it is. I think the idea is that otherwise there would be so many possible charms to get if you were to just have it all on one table that you'd probably never get something decent. I think that's the idea of it. So... yeah, they split it up into multiple tables. There are definitely charm tables that are better than others, but oftentimes that can depend on what your preference is for gameplay. Like, you know, certain charms are good for weapon types like hammer and, you know, charge-based weapon types like greatsword and hammer, yeah. And then others that are good for just critical skills and attack-based stuff. I'm on a pretty balanced charm table on 3 Ultimate, fortunately. I was lucky enough not to get on a cursed table and instead got on one of the better Blade Master ones. But I can't say the same for everyone who's played that game. Some people ended up on cursed tables and they didn't know about it until long after they'd built their characters up, which was the terrible consequence of Capcom making such a drastic error. We're getting that tail? Yeah. Thanks for reminding me, Just Tuss, because I did actually forget that I was going to bring you in. I will remove Yui from the room, not out of spite, but because I do have someone who wants to join, and Yui obviously thinks that it's his turn now. I'll tell you what, he did nothing in assisting me in that hunt. I mean, really, the guy is a gunner. He can see exactly what any Blade Master Hunter is doing in the quest. And he would have been able to see that I aimed for literally nothing except the tail the entire time, and was using a paralysis weapon, trying to aim for the damn thing, so... I will, you don't need the ID, Justice. You can search based on the HR minimum at 70, and you'll be able to find it. There aren't too many rooms posted here. I will try to keep this slot open. Sorry, Popo. I mean, I don't have anything against you, but I do need this slot open. I'm hoping you're at least Hunter rank 70, though. Sharpness +5 and Spirit 2. It's pretty good. For 3 ultimate, that's a good talisman, although I would say that slotted talismans are usually much more useful. In other words, like 2 skill points on the second skill is not very good. It's better to have Sharpness plus 5 and 2 slots, for example, because then you can use anything that would be a 2-slot decoration. So slotted talismans are a big deal. They make a huge difference to the possible sets that you can make. So always aim for Popo. You can't find it? Okay, well, look, Popo, fuck me sideways, man. I know you think you're disconnecting due to network instability, but you're not. Okay, so I'll put the hub ID on the screen for you. In fact, I'll type it. It's easier. That way I don't actually have to keep it up. 142. Alright. So, that way I don't have to keep it up. I'll just confirm that's correct. Yep, that's correct. Bloody hell. If Axe Hunter leaves in the process, that's fine, I don't mind. I will post that again. God damn. Under normal circumstances, it wouldn't be hard to cut this tail, but it's becoming hard. Is this you? If it's not, do let me know. The handsome one has arrived, says Nimble. I don't want to be kicking him after that, that's a bit awkward. Yeah, aiming for Challenger +2 is really important. It's one of the best skills in that game. I prefer to use it with Pierce, for sure. Am I going crazy? Where is Diablos? I must have gone past him at some point. He's not going to be in the last list, is he? Maybe he is. Yeah, he is here. Fucking hell. Beware twin horns on the sand. I wasn't expecting him to be a G4 hunt. Although I suppose it's... Oh, you are Justice. Okay, cool. I'm glad that it's you. I wouldn't want to have to kick a hunt rank 999. That would be awkward. Alright, so to help us along here, and I will refer to you as Nimble, it's easier. Try to aim for the tail with me if you wouldn't mind. I think we've got overall damage dealt or taken care of with the Pierce Gunners in the group. Yeah, I don't really listen to music while playing games either, Beans. I like to play with game volume, but if I can't hear the game, then it's usually because I'm listening to a documentary or something. Like, for example, if I'm grinding something in Monster Hunter, I'll just mute the game and listen to a documentary or something else, you know, to keep my attention away from the fact that I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. Because that is boring. But it's a big part of Monster Hunter, so I'm not actually terribly opposed to it. I wouldn't want it to change, but... yeah, everyone has their own way to get themselves through the process of grinding something. And that's how I do it. We do have a sleep weapon here, hopefully everyone can stop attacking when necessary. Usually that's rare with a Pierce Gunner in this particular community, because, you know, they don't actually pay any attention to what they're doing. They just keep pressing A over and over and over again. And that's the strategy. Of course, referring specifically to this other Pierce Gunner. I'm not too worried about Exio. I forgot to eat. I was a bit distracted by several other things, clearly. Oh dear. It's starting to warm up. Might have to take my jacket off soon. It was cool earlier on, like I started at 8 in the morning basically, but it's almost 10 now. And, yeah, getting warmer. I don't know where you're going, Exio. What's happening over there, man? See, Axe Hunter right now is just running the risk of killing this thing before we can cut the tail. But I do have some assistance here in Nimble, which is good. This is a much smaller Diablos too, so aiming for that tail is going to be even easier. And I'll let Nimble do the draw slash on the tail for the wake up once he gets his sleep. Or the draw charge, I should say. Can't really go in for the tail there. Oh, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to risk going into the other area. I have not listened to Gojira. I don't have any intention of doing so. Literally chasing the tail right now, so I'm going to put down a shock trap, unless Nimble can get the sleep off before he ends up in the trap, but yeah, I don't have time to chase the fucking tail all day. Not happening. There's paralysis number 1. Of course, doing that banging is going to drive me absolutely insane. I'm going to bloody end someone's life if that continues. Good to see the tail cut. Thank you for your assistance, Nimble. The sleep ended up not being necessary for that, which is good. The trap and paralysis normally would be plenty to cut a tail. But, yeah, the slicing shots of Exio in the previous hunt didn't end up being enough, unfortunately. Now I can actually work on the spirit combo. What I was going to say, I don't think I managed to finish what I was saying. I wasn't going to do the spirit combo to try to cut the tail, because you see it's a very, very horizontal sort of attack pattern. Hello, Dink Live. Don't think anyone's ever called me Dink Live, but yes, hello, Potato. It's definitely a new one. I'm not Doomlink, I'm Doomlink Live. Get it right. Tempted to do Unhinged Spirit here, I haven't even reached the white level yet. Fortunately now I'm there, but here's what it is. Aha. Very good timing for the sleep. Oh, Axe Hunter was fucking lucky. Sorry, Nimble. Actually, I have time to do this. Yeah, I knew that was going to be a dead fucking Diablos. You could see, I mean, I put down that bomb and I was worried that I wouldn't have time to get away, and then I realized, no, he's doing that hunter run, so I do have time. What I should have done was actually done the kicking animation on him. And, or what would have, no, I would have rather the wake up be that attack. I wouldn't want to detonate the bombs and then activate his power up on that hunter art and then have that not be the wake up hit. So. What's with the ya dumbass thing, Exio? Who here is the dumbass is the question. Oh my god. The new World War II Call of Duty game has weapon attachments like holographic sights from the 21st century. They have radar microphones too. Okay, great. Just goes to show the sort of respect they have for their demographic. These guys are too stupid to notice or care. And they're probably right too. And and recon drones. Wow. That's incredible. That really is... That's shocking. And exploding bullets. They don't care, do they? They really don't give a shit. Well, look, it's not authentic World War II anyway. You've got, you know, black female Nazis and no swastikas, so may as well go the whole way and have holographic sights, right? And recon drones. It's not historically accurate, so let's lean into it, you know. The rare drop of Diablos in this game, and I always forget because they change it in every fucking game, but it's one of the horns. It's like... I'm gonna check. Because it changes in every frickin' game, and I'm sick of it. Like the name of it. And they reuse the names too, but it doesn't end up being the rare in every single instance of the game, or every iteration in the game. It's fucking frustrating. Alright, where's Diablos? That's Ludroth, mate. Najarala. Nimble Snuff. Uragan. I think Uragan's close to it. No. Hello? Here we go. Tigrex, Regios. It is Hardhorn. No, Twisted Horn is usually just the standard horn from high rank. And then Majestic would be the rare from high rank. So Majestic in this game is the rare from high rank, and is the regular horn drop for G rank. And Twisted Horn, I don't think can be picked up from a G rank one. I think. What's furthermore confusing is that that stout horns don't exist in this game, which is part of the frustration. You know, there are no stout horns, so I can't keep up with this shit. What did you... how did you go with the tail case? How many did you need? Did you get at least one? What's going on with that? Do we need to do another one? I got a friend into Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate a few months ago. I log in today on my Switch for the first time in months and he's playing Rise. Well, you have to fucking play with him, Potato. You don't get someone into Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate and then don't play with them. You have to nurture their growth in the game. Otherwise, you really do need to give these people a helping hand, you know. You can't just say, oh, here's the game, go play it, man. That's what happens. They end up in Rise. They get lost along the way. I mean, if the guy was lost, I mean, it's almost like, I don't know, going grocery shopping and then ending up in a, you know, in the red light district. That's basically what he's done, and that's because you didn't guide him to where he was supposed to go, and that was, you know, not in Rise. Okay, someone can post next. I guess Social Lawi? Social Lawi. I don't know how to pronounce his bloody name. I'm guessing Nimble doesn't want to post. I don't really want to post, so if you do want to post something, let me know, Nimble. Otherwise, Player 4 can post, I don't mind. Nimble is advertising me, apparently. I'm not opposed to that, but it's not something I would do on my own. P4 can post. Goodness me. But yeah, I never advertise my stuff. Fuck the French, says Hope. Okay. Yeah, I don't advertise, but if other people want to do it, that's fine. Lurk time. Go play with your fucking friend, Potato. What's going on? Go play with him. Tell him to get his ass off that damn game. And on to Generations Ultimate and learn how to play a real Monster Hunter game. And again, I can't believe that I'm calling this a real Monster Hunter game and then saying that Rise isn't. But, well, I'm not surprised that Rise isn't, but I'm surprised that I'm calling this a real Monster Hunter game. There was a time when this was just totally off the charts, ultra anime, spin-off level Monster Hunter, but it's not anymore. Some drilling going on. Again, I'm on a construction site, you know. That's how it works. I don't know if Social Owie ended up in the stream, but he was standing still for a while. Maybe he was searching for it, I'm not sure. It does make life easier. It makes it so that I don't have to type in the chat whenever I need to communicate with the guy. But anyway, whatever's easier. I'll shut up with that bloody drill. Put it between your eyes and turn it on. Alright, again looking for Exchanger. Yes, I know all about it. I'll try not to draw attention to the drilling. Let's see what's on the board, because I don't have Exchanger, so I'll have to eat, depending on what it is. Okay, Urugan. That's actually quite nice. I don't find myself fighting Urugan that often anymore. I'll bring a hammer. I would... well... no. Potato. I would not be playing Frontier right now if the servers were still up, and the reason why is because you had to jump through too many hoops to play Frontier, and quite frankly there was too much of a grind in that game. As well as that, there were a number of other issues, but as I've said, I would prefer, or would have preferred, the Monster Hunter series went in the Frontier direction for the mainline series, rather than whatever the fuck World was doing, and what Rise is currently doing. So, yeah, and I wasn't of that opinion before World came out, but now I am. I would be playing those games if they were Frontier style. But as far as actually physically playing Frontier if the servers were up, no, I would not be. What am I bringing? I'm bringing a water hammer, I suppose. Whatever that ends up being. It is Super Frag Hammer. I think the vast majority of people who played a lot of Frontier, at least the ones that I talked to, were of the opinion that it just wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth all the hassle of playing it. It wasn't worth the subscription, the amount of time you had to put into the game to really achieve anything. It was a grind, that game. And it did get really stupid in the end game. Just too much going on, too much anime crap. So, you know, everyone that I ever spoke to who played Frontier had a love-hate relationship with the game. I can live without that. I have nothing but love for all the Monster Hunter games that I've played, from 2nd to 4th gen. I sort of have a love-hate relationship with the 1st gen games, but I'm better with them now. And I just have a hate relationship with the 5th gen games, so yeah. I'm not going to invite something like Frontier into my experience. Yeah, I mean, they wonder why Tri bombed in Japan. Subscription-based and on the Wii. What were they thinking? What a joke. The only reason why they didn't do it for the West is because they knew the Western audiences wouldn't buy into that shit. They thought it was going to work for Tri, because you have to understand, Monster Hunter was exploding in Japan in 2009. It was the biggest thing in the world. And that was the environment in which Portable 3rd released in the following year. But wasn't good enough. No amount of popularity in Japan at the time was going to save Tri from its inevitable demise in that country. But Tri did very well over here. Well, in the West, I should say. Outside of Japan, we will say. Oh, come on. Did you see that? He literally turned away just to avoid my hammer, and then he turned back. Whoever flash bombed, I think you can clearly see it's not really helpful for me as the hammer guy, but of course it's helpful for you bow gunners. See, in this game they actually have it so that you can be hit when he's slamming his chin on the ground after the roar. In the older games, when he'd slam his chin after the roar, you actually couldn't be hit by his chin. It was just an animation that was... Oh, fuck. It was just an animation. No attack capabilities. You mean Monster Hunter Online? That was 3rd gen style. It was a mixture of 3rd gen and changes that wouldn't be seen in the mainline series until World. Things like the health and stamina bar actually minimizing it when you're not in combat. Things like damage numbers, all of that sort of stuff. And the game was also amazing in how it looked. There was also the fact that when you swung your weapon, it would sort of trace the movement. That wasn't introduced until Generations, which came, I think, 2 years after Monster Hunter Online came out. So, like, for example, when I swing this hammer, you can see that the movement, there's like this sort of wind path that's traced by its movement. That was first introduced in Monster Hunter Online, and was first shown in a mainline game in Generations, also known as Monster Hunter Cross. There we go, chin is broken. Banging, drilling, and the, like... does this guy have a hammer in one hand and a drill in the other? What's going on? Can't fucking believe it. Anyway. Sorry if I hit you, Social Louis. I'm not doing too well with my Urugun hammering right now, in case you haven't noticed, but whatever. To reposition here. I have been flinched quite a bit by the gunners, by the way. That is also worth mentioning. Doesn't exactly do wonders for my DPS when I'm getting ready to attack and then I get flinched by someone's shot. Well, I think it died without it even being knocked out once, so there you go. Hallelujah. Of course, it is just a standard Urugun, not hyper. When I'm with a full group of 4 people at G rank level, I do prefer hyper monsters to be posted, not because I find it to be a challenge, and that I enjoy a challenge. It has more to do with the fact that the hunt actually takes more than 5 minutes. Whereas these standard hunts, these standard monsters with a full group of 4 G rank hunters, yeah, they just get completely trounced. And it's always been like that, really, in Monster Hunter. A full team of 4 level appropriate people can shit on a monster, unless they really suck at the game. Well, it's definitely time to branch out, Exia. You're one of a vast majority of people in this community who turn to Valor Pierce because it's easy mode. And it's kind of sad. You have to look at it from the perspective of, you know, people didn't gun in Monster Hunter unless they were either thinking outside of the box or had played enough to want to explore different ways to play. But in this game, literally all the beginners use heavy bowgun. There's a reason. There is a reason. And quite frankly, I completely disavow its use, and I'm kind of sick of seeing it, but whatever. I definitely could have performed a little better in that hunt, but it was dead pretty quickly. So it doesn't matter. There's Exchanger, I found you. How many gourmet vouchers do I have? I must be running out by now. No, I wouldn't be. I think I've still got a lot. Let's have a look. Yeah, 154. Again, it's just Capcom's way of incentivizing people to use something that they've identified most people don't use, which I think is dumb, honestly. I think it's stupid. Just because less people use bowgun doesn't mean that there's something wrong with it. It just means that it's a very specific style of play that not everyone wants to engage with. Fuck off! What's that? What's that background noise? It's intolerable. Anyway. Hellblade 1. I don't know if you're watching the live stream, Social Owie, but I'm not doing high rank deviants. It's just not happening. Particularly not level 1. If you still have the quest posted within the next 10 seconds, then I will type that out. I don't know if he's watching live. I really have no way of knowing, but yeah. I'm not doing high rank deviants. No way in hell. Okay. It's a G rank room is what I will type. I mean, he might have forgotten, but he did join a room that literally has G rank in the title. It wasn't written there as a joke. It's a G rank room. Thank you. Hellblade is quite fine, just not a high rank bloody version of it. There's a bit of low frequency hum. I think there's a truck in the street. Yeah, sorry, says Social Alley. The apology is not necessary, but the removal of the quest is. The removal of the quest from the board is what I require, not the apology. Hello? I'm not sure. I believe that what I said was entirely without equivocation. I think I've made it abundantly clear that, given that this is a high rank quest, it will not be done. I don't think there's any room for confusion. Anyway. Fairly explicit, I think. Thank you for making that even more clear. Alright. Not a huge fan of Kushala Daora, but certainly an improvement upon Hellblade 1. That much I can say for sure. What the hell is that? That's not pleasant on the eyes, Potato, but you've done what you've done, and you may have achieved something in doing so. Sealed Dragon Veil. Haven't gone Charge Blade on this monster in a while. Did I eat in the end? Yes, I did find Exchanger, that's right. I'm sick of Kushala Daora being brought into the games over and over and over again. I'm really sick of it. And in my opinion, there's no reason to have monsters like Teostra, Kushala Daora, and then Alatreon in the same game. Alatreon was, in every way, a third-gen equivalent of the second-gen Elder Dragons. You know, same body type, very similar movements. I mean, compare the movements of Teostra and how he runs at you to the way Alatreon moves, and then compare the movements when Alatreon's down on the ground to those monsters when they're down on the ground. It's the same monster, just updated, so, I mean, why have both? I don't understand it. The solution is not to bring back Kushala and Teostra, the solution is to make something new. But Capcom's allergic to that, so... Alright, that's no problem. Thanks for playing, Nimble. And I hope you enjoyed. Okay. I will wait for a 4th. And hello, Autonomic. If you want to play, you can. The space has just opened up for you. Ugh. Yeah. I mean, this is a perfectly functional charge blade. It's not too bad. And the set's good, so I wouldn't be too worried. You are contributing, in other words. You're not dealing crap damage or anything like that. And you will use the weapon efficiently, so there's no real problem there. Sorry, Akira. Sorry, there's nothing wrong with you or what you have equipped. It is the fact that you are not autonomic that you have been kicked. I hope you realize. He doesn't, but at least I've said it. To satisfy myself, at least. I said at least twice. I'm getting sick of this bot, Hoss. He's being targeted by some bot who wants to follow me. I don't know. Again, if anyone knows why that is ever done, because I don't understand the logic behind it, then do explain it to me, because I don't see a reason why having a bot follow me like once per day, like one follow per day by a bot that just ends up disappearing after a few days anyway. I don't understand what that's achieving, but maybe someone knows. Yes, but I don't know what hate raiding is. This is not a hate raid. The phrase hate raid could not possibly describe, like, one bot following me every day. Well, yeah. So I'm correct about the meaning of hate raid. So therefore I don't understand, unless you were making that statement completely unrelated to what I was just saying. Hunts are going well, then. Are you able to hunt, or are you just popping in to say hello? What? That's pretty stupid. Well, it's easy to appeal such a ban, I would imagine. I mean, Twitch would have logs of that. Pretty stupid, though. Their system is obviously flawed if a bot can spam racial slurs while the streamer is offline, and then complain that the racism was not addressed. I mean, the person was not online. Particularly if the person was alone in the chat at the time when making the racial slurs, so that doesn't make any sense. The system is obviously pretty poor and needs to be fixed. I'm sure Twitch would take some time to reply, because I'm assuming that they're getting a bit of an influx of those sorts of bans. Very stupid, absolutely ridiculous, but hopefully I'll be fine. I don't know, I've been bot followed before, I can live with it. I don't have any interest in Twitch as a platform. I just use it as a tool to get my content out there. I really am not married to Twitch or anything like that. In other words, I don't support Twitch in being here. Maybe some would argue that I do. So let's say, for instance, that the hate raids are intended to in some way protest Twitch and what they do. You know, I'm unrelated to that. In using Twitch, some people could justify that I am somehow supporting them, but I don't treat it that way. I'm by no means a proponent of Twitch's behaviour. They're just you know, the biggest streaming service outside of YouTube on the internet. So I'm here for that reason, and that reason alone. So I don't really know. It's an awkward situation. Choke me harder, screams Exio in the chat. Okay. Very interesting. Yeah, Exio is able to hunt now. He has built his character to a level reasonable enough to hunt with me. Not that I have high standards, but, you know, higher than, I guess, going through key quests in G-Ring. Trying to avoid this stuff. I guess no one brought flash bombs. Of course I never do. I'm too lazy to do that. Oh, bugger off. The thing actually started coming after me. No, 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 no. Stop! I'm innocently trying to heal. I'm playing really stupidly right now, by the way. I haven't even charged up my red shield. I don't know what I'm doing. Actually, I can do it now. I can make use of Ripper Shield. I don't want to have to chase after you, man. I've never been so thoroughly flinched by another Charge Blade user quite so much. And very annoyingly, the Black Wind just cancelled out my Ripper Shield. Which is fucking annoying. Unbelievably annoying, in fact. Need to try and break that head so that he doesn't have his Black Wind anymore. Trying to get that face. The neck works too, I guess. See, now that... It seemed as if the attack that gave me the head flinch, in fact, hit the neck. The neck does not give you head flinches. I don't believe. Maybe they changed it in this game, it's possible, but traditionally, no. The neck does not give head flinches. Whatever. Off he goes. Why was, like, the whole team going in that direction? The guy's paintball. Oh, at least he's poisoned. I don't know who brought poison. It must have been Autonomic. Yeah, he's got one. He's got the Daito Crow. Or the Occult Daito, as it's called, fully upgraded. Which is good. Because we don't have to worry about... Well, it would be nice to still break the head, but... I've never been flinched so much. I mean, I can't believe it. I don't know what's going on, but maybe it's the longsword guys. Fuck me. It's incredible. I'm just getting really unlucky, I think. There are certain vulnerability periods when using charge. I'm getting really sick of this monster right now. I'm absolutely, entirely sick of you, Kashaladeo. Yes, yes. I'm gonna try to energy blade his face. I doubt that I'll get a good opportunity to do it. I can try. I can hope that damage... lag compensation, there you go. I can hope that that did something for me there, but There's a good chance that it did nothing. But worse still would have been a situation where he roared to cancel it, which he almost did, but he was flinched out doing so, which was good. And that was a good thing to see. Yeah, paintballs don't matter, I suppose. Oh, it's a good knockdown. Probably should charge. Here we go. Don't know if it's worth trying to do an AED. No, didn't get a chance to do it. You need to shut up. That you do. Always roaring at annoying times. And please don't cancel my Ripper Shield this time, thank you. And that's a broken head. Thank God for that. I will still aim for it to deal good damage, but... yeah, no more wind pestering us. Which is a good thing. Good head flinches here. Another one? No, not quite. I might sharpen up actually. For once the environment actually worked in my favour. Usually it pushes the monster into me, this time it pushed him away from me. Which is quite welcome. It'd be nice to kill him here, but no, we're not going to make it. He limps really fast. Goodness me. Don't know if it's worth trying to bomb him as he comes down. I think I can drop him fast enough. If I can get a knockdown, that'd be great. No? Well, fuck you too. Look at this. I've never been flinched so much. I really am lost for words. I guess sword mode with Charge Blade is not going to be resistant to the attacks of your teammates. I guess that's the moral of the story. Thanks for that, Exia. But yeah, that was... I feel like I spent most of that hunt on my hands and knees. Thought I just got a large Elder Dragon gem on the first card, but it was a bone. 2 bones. It's obvious when you're in the reward screen that you don't have a gem, but when you're carving it, you see large Elder Dragon, and you're like, ooh. Not that I really need the gems. But yeah, you get spooked by it a bit. Alrighty. Well, that's that. You can post next autonomic. Player 4, this guy whose name I've now forgotten, has been posting back-to-back, so... oh, there you go. Large Elder Dragon Gem. I was about to say that my best luck for Elder Dragons in getting gems is Kushala Daora, but there was one time when I killed 20 and didn't even get one. That was not a fun time. That was several hours of my day to achieve nothing, and I was very unimpressed. I was thoroughly perplexed. Okay. So I will write P3. Just so that that guy can see. I don't know if that... no, it would have been better to wait until he returned from the quest, honestly. But yeah. Now Exio's been using heavy bowgun as well. But sadly it's heavy Valor Pierce bowgun. Orcus bloody Quarkus. I think in terms of his G-rank loadouts in this game though, he's mostly using Charge Blade and heavy bowgun. Could be wrong. But Well, that's normal. At Hunter rank 79, you generally don't have so many well-built sets. When I was at Hunter rank 79, I'm pretty sure I was still working on weapons rather than armor sets. Wouldn't you post? No. Why would I? Hunter rank 930? I don't have a reason to post. I mean, there are things that I have to do, but it shouldn't come as a surprise to a person that someone at this Hunter rank wouldn't want to post. Oh. Setting the Barioth high. That's not funny. Are they suggesting that the pronunciation would be Barioth? I guess Barioth. Setting the Barioth high. That's not funny. I know they're trying to be funny, but it's not working. Anyway. You know, if a joke makes you cringe rather than smile, there's something wrong with the joke. Take these stones, may as well. They'll be useful for something. Can throw them at a few Great Jaggies. Actually, I don't think Great Jaggies in the game, come to think of it. I don't feel like trading for anything else. I don't feel like doing it right now, anyway. I'd rather set up for the quest. Hyper what? What was Hyper something or other? Barioth. I was just complaining about the quest name. No, I'm not bringing lance. This is not the first time I've decided to use a lance on a Barioth and immediately found myself repelled by the idea. This is the second or third time recently that that's happened, which is pretty funny. I'll bring... I don't want to do Hunting Horn either. Sword and Shield, I guess. Oh, goodness me. You know what I'm looking for, so I'm not going to say it. No luck. I will certainly eat for Defense Up Blanche, Defender High, Ice Res. Because, quite frankly, my defense is terrible. For a hyper monster. The solution at this point for me in dealing with this defense is just to not take hits, so let's do what we can. Oh my god, I keep yawning. Don't know what that's about. I had a good sleep last night. Well, I usually sleep well. Dreamy old night. I rode out to the frozen seaway to challenge a white knight who was said to dwell there, but instead I found myself faced with an odd black and something wrong. You can almost never read the whole damn thing in the time that it takes for the quest to load. Which is fine. It's better that way. I'd rather the quest load faster. I don't need time to read the damn client comment. That's courtesy of Guard 1 that allowed me to recover faster. Love the mobility of this fucking weapon type. Absolutely love it. I'm alternating between wings here, but... See, the amount of chasing that I have to engage in, even with the most mobile weapon type of the series, is just, it's annoying and frustrating, whereas if I were to use a lance, I'd be endlessly out of range. Terrible. It just means I'd be sheathing a lot, basically. I could do it, it wouldn't be hard, per se, it would just be generally frustrating. I don't like having to shield a lance all the time. I think it's slightly faster to sheath a lance than a gun lance, but... yeah. Well, you know, Great Macau was a pretty impressive update to, you know, say, Great Jaggy and Velocidrome. I mean, it's a great way to see the evolution of Monster Hunter, to go Velocidrome, Great Jaggy, Great Macau. I mean, watch how their movesets compare from one another, or between one another. It's pretty interesting. I find that Great Macau is a very dynamic monster, particularly for such an early part of the game. I think he's a great monster. So in other words, I would say that he's technically more difficult than, say, a Great Jaggy, and certainly a Velocidrome, but, yeah, maybe not hard, comparatively speaking. See, I'm trying to catch up to him here, and I'm running into him as a result. I'm spending the whole fucking time running after the bastard. Don't even have a broken wing yet, what the fuck? I guess that's what happens when you keep alternating. It takes longer to break both of them if you alternate. The sooner you have one broken, the better. Go. The next one won't be too far away. What's annoying is that when he falls down like that, the way his wings are positioned can oftentimes stop you from circling around the body. Because they stick out. It's the fucking chicken wing business. I'll tell you one thing that's very annoying about Monster Hunter DOS, by the way. Monster Hunter DOS was the first game to allow you to heal with your sword and shield out. Well, consume items with your sword and shield out and throw items and all of that business. But the way in which they did it was truly fucked. It was truly fucked. The way they decided to do it was not by having you shield first and then consume the item with Y or square, or square in that game, it's a PlayStation game, but their solution was instead, and it's so fucking retarded, their solution was to, instead of having square act as your sheath button with the weapon out, you just consume the item, and then your sheath button becomes circle. So, you can imagine, I'm just trying to have fun using sword and shield in Monster Hunter DOS, and the whole time I'm accidentally using items instead of putting my weapon away. It is a complete shit show. I don't know whose fucking idea that was, but they don't deserve a raise for it, and quite frankly, they deserve a good slap on the wrist for it. At least. It's not to be praised. I mean, it's so stupid. Pressing circle, put it away. Unbelievable. So of course, I probably won't be using Sword and Shield in that game, because it is in direct, it's completely different to what I'm used to. Completely different. So, I really don't know what they were thinking. Bow is interesting, because I've never used a bow with analog stick controls. Indeed, the only game where you can do that is DOS, because DOS is the only second-gen game with analog stick controls, and of course, bow is a second-gen weapon type. So, it's interesting, and it's actually very satisfying. I would say that it's almost more satisfying than bow with triangle charge. So in other words, you're pulling the analog stick back. It actually has a close association to the action taken by the character in-game, because, you know, he's drawing the bowstring, so you're pulling the analog stick back. It actually works kinetically. And I find it interesting. It's nice. You're still using the claw, but the reality is that you're probably using the claw when using the bow in 2nd and 3rd gen anyway. Because otherwise you can't very well control the camera as well. You would either have to use the claw on the D-pad, or the claw to press the buttons on the right side of the controller. So in other words, index finger on triangle, or index finger on the D-pad buttons to move the camera while using the bow. So that's not necessarily uncomfortable for me. I honestly find, in fact I find that more comfortable. I choose to play that way in this game, even. Because I don't use R to shoot. I use triangle to shoot in this game. But yeah, point is that bow feels pretty good. I think I'm going to use bow in DOS for now. And sword and shield is off the table, and I wish it wasn't, but I don't know how weak it is in DOS. I don't know if they've fully nerfed it like they had done in Freedom 2 and Freedom Unite, but my guess is that it probably was reasonably nerfed. I would say definitely, because if you think about it, they could justify the nerf by adding that extra functionality of being able to use items with the weapon out. But in the end, it just makes for very awkward control. Like, very awkward button pressing, you know. You want to put the weapon away, you press square, because that is what your muscle memory of 12 years of playing Monster Hunter has taught you, and you're using an item instead of putting the weapon away. It's terrible. It could not be worse. So I'm not using Sword and Shield. No way, no how. Oh, whoops. It is terrible. Of course, I'm playing DOS at the moment because Yuzu came out with a patch for it, and I suppose I'm reiterating what was said at the start of the previous recording. I did mention that, but basically there was always an English, well, maybe not always, but there has for a long time been an English translation for DOS, but it's terrible. It's well and truly terrible. But Yuzu is working on it, which is good. He does the translation for Monster Hunter G, and it's still a work in progress for DOS, but the fact that he's working on it and has, you know, a 0.5 version currently, in other words, you know, sort of a half-done version, that bodes well for the future of DOS. Of course, the biggest thing for DOS that everyone's looking forward to, everyone's been wanting it, is server support. In other words, fan servers. Much like Monster Hunter 1 and Monster Hunter G have. But maybe it'll happen soon, you never know. When it happens, it will be a surprise, because everyone has set their expectations very low in terms of time of delivery. It's been a long time since people wanted it, and it's not really on the horizon. We hope that it will happen eventually, but there's no real ETA or anything like that, so yeah. Point is that my thinking is that once there is server support, it will come as a surprise, and we'll be like, oh my god, this is amazing. It will be amazing. Return to Dundorma, and for many people, such as myself, it will be the first time going to Dundorma. I mean, you could technically say that having played For Ultimate, you've been to Dundorma, but I wouldn't say so. It's different when you're actually in the location properly. But Jumbo Village is interesting. I enjoy Jumbo. It's also nice to have the time of day aspect as well, and the seasons passing. The seasons passing is a bit weird. How is it? Guys, this has been a really slow hunt. What the fuck is going on? I'm very confused. I'm genuinely confused. How has this taken so long? Have I been doing something weird? I don't know. This is the longest I've ever spent hunting this monster in this game. This has been unbelievable. I must be doing something weird. I've been playing very subconsciously, but what the fuck? Anyway, Yeah, watching time pass reminds me a lot of Try. Try was the last game to have time passing in-game, and that was only in Locklack, of course. That was the change from day to night, and then back again. And you had that rotating... I don't even know what to call it, really. Dial, I suppose, rotating dial, that would show the progress from day to night and then back again. It's very much the same in Jumbo Village, and the difference, I suppose, would be that it takes place while you're in the village instead of it being an online functionality. In other words, you know, something that would only take place in an online area, like the Locklack location. The seasons are very interesting. I haven't truly seen what the seasons mean. My understanding of it is that you can't access really cold places in the winter, and you can't access really hot places in the summer. I'm pretty sure that's how it works, but that's not a very in-depth interpretation of it. Or an fucking speak English, man. In-depth explanation of it. But that's because I haven't experienced it properly. I've seen the seasons change while playing, but I only have access to the jungle at the moment. And the jungle's very weird in DOS, I have to say. The jungle, which by the way was the first appearance of the jungle, not referring to the first-gen jungle, but rather the second-gen jungle, the one that Freedom Unite players are quite familiar with. You know, the beach area, basically. That jungle is fucked in DOS, because there are a lot of one-way directions to go in. Which is to say that the vast majority of vines that you could use in Freedom 2 and Freedom Unite to climb to certain locations do not exist in that game, in that map in DOS, which means that you can fall down, but you can't get back up. So sometimes you'll have to go the long way to get to where you want to go, and it's really weird. There are at least 2 that I remember where it's basically one way. Like, there's a place where you can fall down, but you can't climb back up. It's really weird. They added the vines in Freedom 2 and Freedom Unite, so that was a bit odd, but I'm sure there are going to be other changes as well when it comes to, well, other changes that I will notice, given my experience in Freedom Unite when playing DOS and going through the other maps. But yeah. You can't get honey in winter? Oh god. Well, that's interesting, but understandable. But yeah, I will be able to see how the seasons influence the gameplay experience. The reason why I haven't played DOS up until now is specifically because the translation was terrible for it. And I don't understand enough Japanese to get a really in-depth experience with the game, so yeah, I've held off, but I'm probably going to play a little bit more of it in the coming months. What shall we do? I guess P4. Unless Exio has something to post. If he doesn't, then don't worry about it. Arena? I hope he doesn't mean actual arena quests. Oh. Never mind, Peter. Is this Raging Brachydios? I'm sorry, I didn't see your transmog autonomic. What are we looking at? Yeah, looks good. What is that armor set? Let's find out. Astral suit. So obviously, no cargoes. I didn't know it looked like that. Interesting. Alright, Raging Brachydios again. Ice Light Burger. That'll do me. Brachydios Brute Squad. I've got a lot of freeze shots, look at that. How did I end up with almost 300 freeze shots in my box? I've got no idea. Obviously, you know, I know how I got that many. I'm not even going to explain it. I know exactly how I got that many in my box, and it's not a very interesting explanation, so therefore I won't get into it. It's not worth my while. This will be my last hunt. There's Exchanger, but can I get it without Unlucky Cat? No. Someone's had a gourmet voucher. Alrighty. Should be ready to go. Actually, my drink situation's not looking too good. I will go and purchase some. It will be interesting to see what happens with Hunting Horn in DOS. I don't know what to expect. I saw that there was something in the shop in Jumbo Village which was actually a Hunting Horn song sheet, and it said that it adds Hunting Horn songs to your notes or something like that, which I'm assuming means that it will be added to your Hunter's Notebook and you'll be able to actually see what songs can be played, which is weird. I don't really know what to expect with that. We'll see. But it was interesting to see that in the shop. It was literally like a yellow ticket icon. Can we paralyze this? Yes, we can. I will get 2 stacks of rations, and I will, to make up for it, not take potions. I just don't want to waste a Mega Dash juice in this quest. Do I have any buff shots? I do, I have Demon Shot. I don't know if I'll be able to get it out in time. Oh no, looks like these guys are sticking around. It's good to see. No recoil on the Demon Shot, which is nice. Come on. You're not very observant, are you? I don't like seeing him fully red on the head and both hands. That's concerning. I sort of feel sorry for this social Lowy guy, because I did say that it was his turn, and then Exio posted, and now I'm not going to be here to do his next quest, but, you know. That's it's just how the cookie crumbles, as they say. Why did I just say that? It's neither funny, nor clever, nor cute, nor anything of value. Hopefully I'm out of range of that. It's a little deceptive actually when you have the, you know, a different, like if you're on a separate level to where Brachydios is, because you can't quite see where the explosions are going to come. Which they might... No, I won't shoot slicing yet. I'll wait until after freeze level 2. I don't know if the tail tip is good for element. It might be. But I'll be aiming for the face if I can. Which is hard, he moves around a lot. was a good knockdown. He shouldn't last too long. I don't know why that previous Barioth hunt took so long, but this should be reasonably quick. There goes Social Owie. It's a very weird name. Might be socially. Might be like a really weird way of writing socially. I don't know, but it's... There are certain names that when you say them, you feel stupid for saying them. That would be an example of what I'm talking about when I say that. Yeah, I'll shoot slicing. I'll be done with it pretty quickly. If it was slicing level 1, I wouldn't bother shooting it, but slicing level 2 is very good, so I will shoot it. And again, I've only got 15, so it'll be done. Over and done with pretty quickly. Very nicely done. Need to not line up with Autonomic there. I didn't know he was there. It was annoying. I stood there at risk to myself to get hits off on the face there, and I ended up hitting the frickin' fists instead. The fists do actually end up blocking a bit of the head on, or at certain angles. It's very annoying. No! Fortunately, his fists weren't ready to explode though. Otherwise, that would have been problematic for me. Could have been a death. I don't know what sort of damage I can take here. That's my defense. 552 might just be good enough, but still. I'd rather not risk getting hit at all. As a gunner, you shouldn't go into a hunt with the expectation that you're going to take a hit. That's the idea. Nicely done. That was a... I don't know how he managed to kill a Raging Brachydios faster than we killed a Hyper Barioth by that much of a margin, but that large of a margin. Anyway. Oh, God. Stretching my body. Feeling quite lethargic at the moment. Anyway. Got a little bit of rum in this glass. I'll finish that off. Well, I'm sorry to see that you've appeared just as I'm finishing the live stream. Eater of Crayons. Forgot your in-game name, so I will call you that. But yeah, that was my last hunt. I've been live for 2 hours and 25 minutes, so... yeah. Unfortunate, but I might stream again later on. We'll have to see. I'm doing a lot of Generations Ultimate at the moment, so I might do another one in the evening. We will see what happens. Nice work getting the Immortal Reactor, Exia. I'm glad you got it. Alright, so I've finished at, like, Hunter rank 930 something, I think. 31? Let's see. 930. Okay. Well, that's not too bad at all. I do thank you all for watching. I'll see you when I'm next live. I'm not going to guarantee that I'll record later on today. I might. And if I don't be too surprised. But I might. I will see you when I see you either way. Do expect more Generations Ultimate. I'm quite focused on my objective of reaching 999. I will see you all next time. Bye bye.